Ballad of Adventures. In the land of Georgia, a young man was shown the adventures of boating a yacht that was like a home. With him casting his line with a flick of his wrist, his first encounter aboard her was that of catching a fish. He pulled with all his might, then let out a shout. A net was needed to bring in his trout. He knew he had to act fast to save the fishies alive. So he called out to Miss Linda to grab a Dasani to avoid any strife. He poured some water onto the fish's gills and watched as it twitched and then become still. He emptied the bottle upon the fish and saw to it that it would not become that night's dinner dish. Jason changed his adventures to the Chestatee River wide, paddling his rubber raft with Mr. Steve at his side. He loved the water and the nature around, but there was one thing that bothered him Mr. Steve soon found: the flying insects. There were so many, he swatted them frantically with all his might, but they kept dive-bombing him without any respite. He tried to ignore them, but it was no use. As they buzzed in his ears and gave him abuse, he swatted and cursed with a fervent zeal. A weakness for flying insects was now revealed. On to another of Jason's goals, to climb Blood Mountain with all his soul. But he needed a guide to help him achieve, so Miss Linda was there because she believed. She showed him the way through the winding trail as they hiked up the mountain pass without any fail. Though it was hard with a steep incline, they kept on climbing with determination in mind. They finally reached the summit with a view so grand, looking around at the beauty of the Appalachian land. Yes, they were tired and maybe aching inside, still they felt alive with a sense of pride. They then hiked back down with smiles on their faces and didn't trip thanks to God's good graces. Jason would later find that hiking was a journey of the heart, and that Miss Linda played a special part. Then one day young Jason had a job to do. He had to seal asphalt with a skill still new, and with a bucket of tar and a brush so bold, he worked all day with a heart so gold. But Jason, like some, started to play with a tar so black, soon it was all over the place. He put it on his fingers and then on his face, not thinking about how he would be able to erase. As the day ended, as the sun went down, Miss Linda saw what he had done. She took him aside and told him with care that tar was dangerous on his face so fair. She helped him to clean up his face, scrubbing he did until it was gone, starting all over with a new day's dawn. He'll remember the day when Miss Linda taught him anew, for he learned a life lesson that he'll never forget: to always be careful, but when you're not, no need to fret. A love for building things was shared with Jason and Garrett, to build and tinker with Mr. Steve's aid, a model rocket that could really be made. The morning came to launch their skyrockets, Garrett being cautious and filled with great care, while Jason was eager to launch his in the air. They argued and bickered about how it should go, till finally they decided to let their rocket show. Lighting the fuse first, Jason backed away quick as his rocket took off like a wild flying stick. It soared up and up into the great blue yonder, till it couldn't be seen any longer. But then something happened they didn't expect. The rocket began to descend like a malfunctioning jet. It crashed with a thud, thoroughly grounded, leaving poor Jason looking quite astounded. Now and then they can look at the sky so high and remember the day when they learned to fly. Remembering the day of rockets and fun, never letting each other to be outdone. Then a day to learn to drive was given to Jason in the Georgia countryside, but the mountains of Georgia were a tough place to be, for young Jason would drive a stick shift, making it harder, you see. He put his foot down on the clutch and went through the motion with a nervous touch, But the MGB stalled and he was stuck in the mountains of Georgia with a bit of bad luck. The clutch had heated up and would not release. Jason spoke up and said maybe it needs some grease. Mr. Steve said, we'll let it cool. And after a few minutes the road opened up again to our doom. Another life lesson was to be learned that day. Keep calm and let logic take hold before saying nay. While this ballad could continue, it stops here for now. There are more stories for that I can unfold. Life adventures of Jason will continue for sure, exploring the world with a curious mind. With still more mountains for him to climb, he'll walk paths he had never trodden before, and meet strangers who'll become friends and open new doors. So as he looks back with a smile on his face, I hope he knows why I was always right in his case. It's been enjoyable for me to part bits of wisdom to you.